Whatever it takes, I know I can make it through. A Degrassi podcast with Kelsey and Holland too. I know I can make it through.
Hi, and welcome to Whatever It Takes, a podcast about Degrassi, the Next Generation. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Holland, and today we're talking about Season 13, Episodes 11 and 12, You Oughta Know, and Everything You've Done Wrong. And Kelsey, will you please read us the Degrassi Wiki summaries?
Sure. All right. Clare...
Sorry.
It's okay. Claire's journalism skills are tested when she interviews Zoe for a national magazine. Miles and Tristan both make the basketball team, but Miles doesn't get the position of center that his dad wanted him to get. No. So Miles decides to go on steroids, which he gets from Tristan. Also not really.
Well, he thinks.
He thinks. But also, it had nothing to do with the position. It was whether or not he was starting.
I think it's the starting position of whatever the fuck.
Yeah. All right. After Drew approves her idea of Degrassi TV, Imogen looks for a news anchor, but is reluctant to choose Becky.
Sure.
Claire worries about her future as she struggles to cover up a huge mistake. Tristan finds trouble when he gets a reputation concerning steroids. Imogen has trouble working with Becky, while she feels intense guilt about making out with her boyfriend before his death. Oh, yeah.
So dramatic.
All right. They put it real blunt.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. So did Imogen.
Oh, well, yeah. But she wasn't that blunt with Becky, at least.
Thank God.
The episodes are called, the first one is called You Oughta Know, which is a 1995 song by Alanis Morissette.
Obviously.
Probably about Dave Coulier, but never confirmed.
Kind of confirmed.
I mean, technically not.
Half-ass confirmed. You're such a journalist. Also, like, just peak getting over a breakup song.
Yeah.
Like, just angry, scorned woman. It's the best. I love this song.
With a line about a blowjob in a movie theater or something.
Which is a fun choice. Sounds gross. Those floors are sticky.
Also, so public. Anyway, I guess maybe it has to do with Imogen feels conflicted about letting Becky know about shit, but
Also,
there's no breakup vibes. There's
No.
no, like, catharsis happening, really, in either episode.
nope. Maybe it's You Oughta Know because Claire is, like, losing her memory and they're being real literal.
You ought to know what's going on. And then the second song is called Everything You've Done Wrong, a 1996 song by Sloan. I have no idea what the song is. I did not listen to it before this.
Same.
And I guess it has to do with Claire fucking being a bad journalist and
Yep.
making up a story. And it's like, girl, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, sure, whatever.
Diving in, Claire has an interview at kind of an interview to, like, pitch an article to what I thought was News
Me too.
Magazine.
I wrote News Magazine ? And then Muse Magazine. Like, I couldn't hear what she said.
I assumed it was news until the third page of my notes where I had to write in actually Muse.
Muse. Better, but still basic.
Not great. Wasn't that the name of the magazine in Ugly Betty?
I did not watch that show.
I would catch the occasional episode. My mom liked that show.
I know Gizmodo has, like, a Muse, like, branch.
Yeah.
Or, like, / Jezebel-esque.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she, like, wants to tie YOLO to the economy. She's, like, spitballing ideas. I don't know. But she's, like, trying to pitch shit for this interview she has, which I'm just, like, all of it. Sorry. Also, I'm apologizing for my voice because it's still really shitty. But all of this is just so unrealistic. Like,
Yeah.
a magazine wouldn't go to a high schooler for, like, story ideas. They would maybe go to a high schooler for, like, an internship, which would be, like, they're going to help you research. And they're going to maybe write tiny, like, breaking news, like, 500-word, 250-word things. But it's like, no one's hiring a high schooler to write a feature for your magazine. I'm sorry.
Absolutely not. And this would only ever happen if you were a great writer and had the most insane connections.
Yeah. It's,
like, insane connections.
Even, like, local wise.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This
does not track.
Anyway.
Why can't she submit shit online like every other person?
Claire's, like, weird and forgetful. Yeah, and they wouldn't, like, even if you weren't in high school, they wouldn't, like, bring you in, like, in person to have you pitch to them.
No.
That would be done over email, even in 2013.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't, like, also, we're going to get into a lot more, like, stupid bullshit they do with the magazine later, but it's just, like, there's so much FaceTime in this whole process where it's, like, this would not happen. Anyway. But she's all weird and forgetful, and it's like, what's going on? Should we do fashion police?
Yeah, I got some fashion.
Tristan's wearing a polo in gym class, so I was confused by that. Or basketball tryouts or whatever.
Maya is wearing pink pants.
Imogen has, like, hot pink fingerless glove things.
Extreme yikes. She also has her hair chopsticks again.
Yeah.
Which I feel like this was, like, 10 years too late.
Zoe wears, like, black and white striped shorts with, like, a zebra print halter deal, which was a lot.
It was. What else have I got?
That might actually be all I have.
Becky wears a dress that I like.
Stripey?
I don't remember. I just wrote Becky's dress. Not helpful, sorry. I liked Tristan's stripy shirt, and I called it Imogen's New Mexico shirt, but it was just like a turquoise tank top with these like silver like triangles on the shoulders, but it reminded me of New Mexico.
Turquoise is very New Mexico aesthetic.
Yeah, and that's all I have.
I don't have any more. But then we're at basketball tryouts with like some weird faux Killers-esque song playing in the background, but then a lady sings. And Tristan's hair still looks great after practice, by the way. And he's like trying to like be pals with Miles, and he's like, so what are you doing after school? I don't know, getting up to shenanigans. I love shenanigans. I don't know. Miles like invites him over to his house afterwards.
After it looks like Tristan kind of blows the whole conversation. Yeah. So everyone's surprised.
And then we're with Drew and Claire, like figuring out student council budget. And Drew wants Claire to tell Jenna that can't get beanbag chairs. And she's like, why don't you tell her? And he's like, because I want them too.
Just funny.
And I just love the Drew-Claire friendship that is happening.
Me too.
That's all I remember from this conversation.
He notices that she's like basically
weird.
Losing her memory, and he offers to type up her pitches for her.
Right. And then we're with Tristan and Maya, and Tristan's like, I want Miles to be my best friend. And Maya's like, what? And he's like, he invited me over to hang out after school. And she's like, yeah, he invited everybody. He's having a party. I'm like, who has a party after school at the daytime on a school night?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
People trying to move along a plot. Also, Maya doesn't buy Tristan as an athlete, and honestly, same.
Yeah.
I buy him as a gym rat.
I'm confused by it. I don't even buy him as a gym rat. I don't buy him as, like, wanting to exercise at all, but whatever. Then we are with Imogen, who is, like, pitching herself as, like, the writer, producer, director, and star of Degrassi TV. And Drew's like, that's a lot. You should at least get a different anchor because you can't do all of that by yourself. And she's like, fine, whatever. And then we're with Claire again. And are we at the magazine?
Yeah, because she already blows it like the minute that she can't remember Meredith's name.
Right. She shows up. She doesn't remember the lady's name. And then Claire's like, so the story idea I had, and the girl's like, yeah, everyone's done that story to death, so now it's your opportunity to pitch me more things.
Which doesn't make sense.
I'm like, why did you have her? This interview makes no sense.
This could have been an email.
This could have been an email or a phone call. Like, I don't get it. Okay. And then, like, give her an edit test. Lord. And then
stupid.
Claire starts making shit up and is like, I'm going to write an expose on Zoe, who doesn't have any friends, even though she was on West Drive, and she's having a hard time adjusting to high school. I'm like, All right, go with it, sure.
And Meredith says, loved by fans, liked by no one, which I enjoyed.
And I just kept writing down, they wouldn't go to a high schooler for this.
No.
She's like, well, we had a feature fall through, so write me up a rough draft by tonight. I know it's a tight deadline, but, like, that's the biz, basically. And I'm like, they wouldn't go to a high schooler for this. This
No.
wouldn't happen.
They wouldn't be relying on a high schooler for their main feature. They wouldn't give a high schooler as, like, high up of a job as interviewing a celebrity.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If you had a story fall through, you would like give it some. You'd make your staff writer do something. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, if anything, she would just be like, "Cool, I'll pay you for that idea," and have one of my writers do it.
Honestly, oh my god. Okay. Anyway, then we are at DTV tryouts. Winston tries out. He's not good.
Nope.
Becky Baker tries out. She's great. But then she talks about texting and driving and everyone's uncomfortable. Or I guess Imogen is more uncomfortable. But Drew's like, she killed it. And she's like, nope, she's not going to be. She doesn't work. Bye. Because she's still all weird about the whole I made out with Adam right before he died thing.
Which is fair.
And then Claire approaches Zoe about the story idea. And Zoe's like immediately on board because it's free publicity. And Claire's going to follow her around at the party after school. Also, how is this still the same day?
I don't know. How is this still the same day? How is this, I think, the A plot?
I know. And then as soon as Zoe walks away, Claire like whips out her voice notes on her iPhone and is like starting to narrate. And I'm like, oh, Claire, you're
also
stupid.
The first time I liked Zoe ever, when she looks at Claire and goes, and don't wear that.
Don't wear your guidance counselor clothes.
Honestly, always here for a Claire burn. Also, this episode was so boring, that I truly couldn't tell what was the A plot, and I'm just assuming it's this one.
Yeah, and then Imogen like sees Becky in the hallway and tells her that Winston got the job, and Becky knows she's being weird.
Yep, and then Imogen says, "Thanks, Bex, you're swell."
And then we're at the party, and Zoe is calling Claire her official biographer. And she's being all fake for the article because obviously. And then Winston thinks Miles' mom is hot. I don't know. I can't get a read on Winston now.
Me
I'm so
neither.
confused about him.
That's like my thing because I was so endeared towards Winston. I like him so much more than Miles. I was all about Winston, and then he started getting weird.
They gave him too many things to say.
They gave him too many things in general. They were like, "You're a misogynist, but you're not. But you are. We're going to confuse people."
But then we find out that Tristan and Miles both made the basketball team, but Miles didn't, like, make the starting position he wanted, that he's felt pressured into getting because his dad is a dick.
His dad sucks. Also, it's raining at this party.
Then because he didn't make the starting lineup as a sophomore, he's like, obviously I need to do steroids now. And Tristan is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Which agreed.
Oh, yeah, and it's raining.
It's raining, which... I hate to go back to the what is happening with this party, but if it was so last minute that people are only finding out about it like day of and going to the party, and he has such a big house, so why aren't they inside? But also, wouldn't he just look at the weather and be like, oh no, today's not a good day for a last minute party. We'll do it tomorrow when it's not supposed to rain.
I don't understand this party. I don't understand why we had to have a party. It doesn't make any sense.
It looks like a really boring party.
It doesn't make any sense. This, like, we didn't need both plots to, like, meet at the party. I mean, I guess it's only because then we see that Claire has been, like, fooled by Zoe, and then she runs into Winston, who's like, oh, no, that's not how any of this happened. But literally, we could have just, it didn't need to be at a party. I don't get it.
I don't either. The only thing I can think is that they did it to save money so that they would only have to shoot one location.
I guess so, but Claire is a dummy and is like, what? She was lying to me the whole time?
Claire's going to be a terrible journalist.
Yeah. I mean, her memory's all weird, but
still.
But then...
oh, and Winston hits on Claire.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
Like, bye. And I wrote, oh yeah, Winston is giving good dirt, lol, and asking out Claire. I'm confused about Winston. And then we're with Tristan and Miles, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, you can't do steroids. He literally says, who does steroids anymore?
Truly.
Oh, no, she's talking to Zoe and Maya about it. And then Zoe is like,